Waynesboro, which is a game now for them, even though they are at a high seed. And so, Destiny, I mean, let's go back to the Covington game real quick. What did we see from the Lumberjacks, or what did we see out of the Tom Sox against the Lumberjacks in that one?
Yeah, I think we were very sound both offensively and defensively. Especially that first game, Trey Savage pitched 7 innings. He was on fire last night, only walked one batter. So I think our bullpen is definitely locked in, which, as I always say, bullpens win ball games. So the offense also backed that up as well. There were 2 3-run home runs as well as a 2-run home run in the second game. It was honestly just a great night for the Tom Sox both ways around, and I think that if they stay disciplined in the box and, are smart with their hit placement and just keeping it simple defensively, I think that they can have this game tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's something we talked about before. It's just the Tom Sox pitching has just been so consistent. It's been kind of the batting and the offensive inconsistency has been hurting them. But, I mean, the offense came to play yesterday, scoring 19 runs and outscoring the Lumberjacks to only 19-4. Covington was also a team that had their Tom Sox's number going 4-3 in the regular season, but the Tom Sox made easy work of them. For the Waynesboro Generals, they went the distance in 3 games against the Harrisonburg Turks, winning that one 2 games, 2-1. And, now the Generals, they get 2 home games because of this game getting moved to here, just because at Charlottesville High School it feels just not in good shape.
Yeah, well, hopefully the technically home advantage will be in the Tom Sox favor. It's still a beautiful field here.
Yeah, for sure. Wyatt Lunsford Shankman will be on the mound for Tom Sox. We had a late start, so that's why we were a little bit behind, but no worries. Leadoff batter for the Waynesboro Generals will be Joseph Sullivan. That first pitch there will be a ball for Shankman.
Shankman taking a little time in between pitches.
So that one will be fouled away for a 1-1 count now for Shankman.
Sullivan is up there for batting average with a .5 batting average.
He had a very good series against the Harrisburg Turks. That ball there is down low for ball number 2. Yeah, he had double in that one. Also had 3 RBIs in that 3-game series. Huge reason why the Generals are even in his position just based off his success during the regular season. So right there, Shankman gets the breaking ball as Sullivan swings through that one for strike number 2. Shankman looks on. Now one will be chopped to the first baseman, and it would just be a simple step on the bag for Cole Wagner for the first out of the game. Now for the Generals will be Caleb Cawley out of Arkansas. Cawley in that 3-game series went 3 for 12. First pitch for Shankman coming, and that's in for strike number 1.
Something that's important for the pitchers is just to take command on the mound, and it seems that Wyatt has been doing that so far.
Second pitch now coming, and they'll be fouled back by Cawley. So early, but yeah, for sure. Shankman is right now. He's rolling. And we saw yesterday against the Lumberjacks, Tom Sox pitching was doing the same thing. I mean, right now, there's in a different mode. There's on cruise control right now. 0-2 pitch coming for Shankman against Cawley. That one will be outside for ball number 1. And the 2 Waynesboro Generals wins. Cawley had 5 RBIs. And they're 7-1 and 13-8 wins against the Turks. Been a big playoff hitter, as that one will be fouled away. And this at-bat will continue.
A little bit of postseason history. The Tom Sox are making their 5th straight playoff appearance and 5th all-time. and they've advanced to the finals in 3 of their 4 previous appearances.
Shankman now pitching, coming. Will be called down low for ball number 2 now. 2-2 count for Caleb Cauley. Shankman looks on, pitch incoming. That one will be shot past Gavin Abrams and into right field as Cauley will have just a simple little single that went to Garrett Spikes. Now puts Waynesboro on the board with the first hit of the game for them. As now TJ Clarkson will step at the plate. Shankman pitch coming now, and that's going to be shot deep in right field. Spikes has to find track on it, and that's gone. A home run for TJ Clarkson to put the Generals on the board first for a 2-0 lead. I mean, that's a huge shot there. I mean, we talked about before, Tom Sock's pitching's been rolling, only giving up 4 runs in their 2 games against Covington Lumberjacks in their doubleheader. And now TJ Clarkson gets a home run to give the Generals a 2-0 cushion.
Yeah, definitely a good start for the Generals, setting the tone for the game. Now they're up 2-0. That hit was almost foul, but it just was inside for that home run.
Yeah, it was right next to the foul pole, but it did stay fair for the 2-run shot. As now Tanner Garrison will be at the plate for the Generals. And on deck for them will be Jalen Vasquez, the power hitter for the Generals. Garrison now takes that pitch deep into center field, but it will be handled for out number 2.
It's important for the Tom Sox not to let that get too much in their head. We have 2 outs now, so hopefully they can get themselves out this inning. But definitely not the start you would want for the Tom Sox.
Definitely not. And now with Jalen Vasquez at the plate, Shankman's got to be real careful. On the year, Vasquez has 7 home runs, and he leads the team with 16 extra base hits. That one is in for strike number 1. After the flyout, Shankman looking to get back on track. And that pitch there is high for ball number 1. Shankman getting ready. Pitch coming. That one outside for ball number 2.
I mean, we've said this all season, how, especially towards the end of the regular season, how close the rankings are. To talk about how even close this is for the Tom Sox and the Generals, they both had a 26-16 record in the regular season.
That one for Shankman down low, nearly in the dirt. Yeah, I mean, that was a storyline for much of the season. In the North Division, the Woodstock River Bandits had the control of that for much of the season. And then Waynesboro Generals, they had a huge lead in the division. Harrisburg and Charlottesville came back, and Tom Sox ended up getting that one. That's a swing and a miss for Vasquez to make it a full count for Shankman. Shankman, pitch coming. It will be shot in the dirt, but it will be called unplayable. So we repeat the full count. Vasquez putting a little bit more pressure on Shankman, just trying to get a couple more extra pitches. Shankman right now is somewhat reeling after getting up that 2-run shot to TJ Clarkson. We repeat the full count pitch. That's it coming. Vasquez hits a deep shot in the right field. It will be called foul. That was almost another home run. Would have been a huge shot for Vasquez. Looked like it nearly hit the foul pole.
Yeah, I think it hit the bottom of the foul pole. Or like right outside of it.
Yeah, it was just right outside of it. That was another tough spot for Shankman there, but he will get bailed out of that one. So we go back to the full count. Shankman pitch coming. Breaking ball. Called strike 3. And that will get the Tom Sox out of the inning. Shankman gives up the 2-run shot to TJ Clarkson. Tom Sox now trailing 2-0 as they look to generate some offense heading in to the bottom of the first. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to K. Collins Field. Currently the Tom Sox trail 2-0. They still have yet to get their offense on the field. So we are in the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the Waynesboro Generals defense. On the mound will be Henry Hardy, a resident of Charlottesville, Virginia, out of Patrick Henry Community College. He will be pitching to Tanner Garrison. And going around from first to third will be Caleb Cawley, Tyler Borgs, Jalen Vasquez, and Garrett Howe. And then from left to right, we got Casey Karras, Joseph Sullivan, and then Thad Ector to round it out in right field. And let's quickly go down to Tom Sox batting order. We got Christian Martin, Carter Cunningham batting second, Cole Wagner at third, Trey Younger at the 4 spot, Garrett Spikes, Calvin Alexander at the DH, and then Nicholas Erickson, Kyle Edwards, and Gavin Abrams to round it out. As Christian Martin will step into the batter's box for the first at-bat for the Tom Sox.
This was similar to the lineup of last night, and I really liked this setup. Just complemented each other throughout the lineup, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it for a lot of the season, that Christian Martin, Carter Cunningham, Cole Wagner, batting back to back to back. This has been so huge for Tom Sox to generate some offense. First pitch there for Hardy will be down low for ball number 1.
It's important, too. I mean, Tom Sox are down right now, but it's important not to get too fancy either and not get too eager to try and hit a bomb, just chip away at this point.
Second pitch for Hardy. A breaking ball doesn't get low enough. Will be ball number 2. Yeah, I mean, it's also part of the lineup that you want up first. I mean, Christian Martin, 4 for 10 in the first 2 games. Carter Cunningham struggled a little bit, but had 2 RBI doubles. And then Cole Wagner, got on base every single game. As that pitch, high and outside for ball number 3. As Christian Martin's looking to get on base very early. Hardy pitch coming. That one will be called strike. Catches the outside corner. 3-1 count for Martin. Batting .385 on the year. 3 homers and 19 RBIs. And that will be called ball 4, and it puts a runner on first early for the Tom Sox. Up next will be East Carolina Pirate Carter Cunningham, leading the team in batting average. Still hasn't qualified yet. Hopefully he can get that soon if the Tom Sox make it deep enough. Batting .411 on the year, 3 homers, 23 RBIs. Struggled a little bit in that 2-game series, but as mentioned before, was huge with his hits. That one, strike number 1.
Carter attends East Carolina University, but he is from Haymarket, Virginia, so he's in his home state.
Hardy pitch coming. That one's down in the dirt. For ball number 1, as Garrison had to stop that one to keep Martin on first. Hardy looks on. Pitch coming. That one's down at third again. It's going to pop up past Garrison a little bit, and Martin's going to slide into second for the steal off the wild pitch. Now Cunningham is facing a 2-1 pitch count, and now the Tom Sox have something rolling right now. Martin now in scoring position with the Sox trailing 0-2. Cunningham will call a quick timeout. Cole Wagner will be next up for the Tom Sox. I mean, we've seen he generally gets on base. I mean, I think that's a safe assumption. So the Tom Sox have a lot of momentum going right now. So that pitch is coming, and that's going to be shot straight up into the air. But it will be tracked by center fielder Joseph Sullivan to get the first out for the Generals.
Yeah, you mentioned Cole Wagner normally gets on base. He has reached base in all 34 games he has played this season, and he's 1 game short of tying the team record set by Michael Walensky.
Also, as our partner Joe Callahan says, the RBI king, Cole Wagner, 35 RBIs this season. So that one's going to be ball number 1. You don't want to mess too much with him if you're on the mound, because he will make you pay. 1-0 count for Hardy as Martin looked like he's about to jump that one, but that's been a swing and a miss for Wagner. Put the count at 1-1. Looked like Christian Moore was about to take off before the pitch was even thrown. But he does stay at second. One pitch coming for Hardy, and that's going to be a breaking ball. Cole Wagner will get underneath it, but so will Joseph Sullivan, as he will get the second out of the inning and keep Christian Martin on second. Next up for the Sox will be the center fielder, Trey Younger. 2 for 10 in his 2 games against Covington yesterday. Hardy's looking to keep the runner in scoring position on base instead of on the scoreboard. So he's done well so far. Looked like he struggled in the beginning. Threw 4 balls too. 1 strike in the first at bat. A couple wild pitches, but now seems to settle in. First pitch coming now. It's a breaking ball, but it will be high for ball number 1. One 0 pitch coming from Hardy. That one down low. Ball number 2. Martin looks like he's got to be a little bit careful here. As Tyler Borgs, the second baseman, is staying a little bit closer to the bag. Could be a pickoff opportunity. As he steps away. 2-0 count for Hardy. Younger. It's a chopper to Jalen Vasquez, and it will be thrown to first to Cauley. And I will get the third out for the Waynesboro Generals, and it will keep the Tom Sox off the board. Waynesboro Generals offense will come back up to plate. Still up 2-0. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Kate Collins Field in Waynesboro, Virginia. For the Generals, it will be the bottom half of the order as Casey Karras will step into batter's box first. Thad Hector will be on deck for the Generals. Tom Sox trail this one 2-0 after a 2-run home run by T.J. Clarkson in the first inning. Right now, it looks like the Generals have Shankman's pitching down as Vasquez almost hit a home run of his own. As that one will be in the dirt for ball number 1. The Generals are so far taking Shankman deep. It's not what you really want to see if you're Ramon Garza and the Tom Sox.
Definitely not. It's important to just keep it simple to get in and out of the innings.
Second pitch for Shankman. Down outside in the bottom corner for ball number 2, almost in the dirt. 2-0 pitch coming for Shankman, and that's going to be shot by Karras into left field, but it will be handled by Carter Cunningham for the first out off the top of the second. As mentioned, it will be Thad Hector up to the plate now. He's taken another step up here in playoff baseball, 5 for 8 in his 3 games against the Turks. Batting .625 in the playoffs, so that would be down low for ball number 1. Pitch now coming for Shankman. The breaking ball. It will drop for strike number 1. As mentioned, Hector has taken another step up here in these playoffs. Just for comparison, in the regular season, batted .176. That one there, down low again for Shankman. So, I mean, for the Generals, I mean, with how tight these against the Turks and the Sox they have been, I mean, you need guys like him to step up, and he has shown that he can. 2-1 pitch for Shankman. That one's high for ball number 3.
Shankman in 7 appearances, 6 of those in relief. He has had a 1.5 ERA in 17.1 innings with 24 strikeouts, and he's only allowed 1 earned run in 4 games this month before this game.
He's looking to get back on track here. So that's a 3-1 shot for Hector, and it will be handled once again by Carter Cunningham for the second out of the inning. Next up after Hector will be the second baseman, Tyler Borges. Shankman first pitch coming. That one's outside for ball number 1. Shankman currently operating with no runners on base, 2 quick outs to get a little bit more momentum going for him. Second pitch will be fouled back to Erickson. Put the count 1-1. Back-to-back days for Tom Sox, where they start with pitchers from East Carolina. Yesterday was Trey Savage, and now it's Shankman. That one's going to get away from Erickson. But with no runners on base, doesn't really matter. Now it's a 2-1 count. Two-one pitch coming for Shankman. That one's high for ball number 3. On a year, the Tom Sox, they lead the season series against Generals 5-2. But with playoff baseball, I mean, when you only have to lose 2 games to be out. You know, a lot of things can change. And those past records don't matter That one will get shot past the press, over the press box, and we'll make it a full count for Shankman. It also puts a hamper on the Tom Sox when you're not playing your games at home and you have to travel out here to Waynesboro. I mean, just because the guys from Waynesboro are already here, and it makes it even more challenging to win those 2 games. Full count pitch now coming, and that's going to be ball number 4.
Speaking of making it a little more challenging, they did play 2 9-inning games yesterday. So they may be a little bit tired from the trip to Harrisonburg.
Yeah, usually during the season we saw the Tom Sox, they had a lot of depth. But, when it comes to playoff baseball, you want your best guys out there. So you can't really take a chance with that kind of stuff. And, you don't know how that's really going to affect them. Up next for the Waynesboro Generals will be the 9-hole hitter, Garrett Howe. That first pitch for Shankman. Erickson had to he had to jump up for it. Will be a 1-0 count for Garrett Howe. Now if you're Shankman, you got to be a little bit more cautious with a runner on first. Pitch incoming. That's a breaking ball. Will not get down. Will put the count 2-0 as Erickson's going to trot out there to calm Shankman down. Already down 2-0 in this one. You don't want to make matters worse. By a couple wild pitches that could allow Borges to advance and really put a runner in scoring position and really put pressure on Shankman. A little quick chat is over. Shankman gets ready to throw. 2-0 pitch incoming now, and that's going to be in for strike number 1. Two-one count, 2 outs, runner on first. Pitch coming, that's a runner going. But Borges will have to trot back to first after the foul ball into left field for Howe. Puts the count now at 2-2 for Shankman. Shankman nods, pitch coming again. That one outside again for make it a full count.
Just outside. He was almost there.
Looked like that pitch could have gone either way. But he had to go by what the home plate ump says, and he said it was a ball. Now 3-2 pitch with runner on first. Pitch coming. Now it's going to be a good shot there by Howe, and we'll roll to Spikes. Garrett Spikes, and he's going to throw straight to third as Tyler Borges will run from first to third, getting a good little head start, stealing the base there.
Definitely smart by him to get that jump. And even though Spikes did get the ball in pretty quickly, he had too much of a jump. Yes. And was able to make it to third. And now the Generals are in scoring position.
Yeah, throw by Spikes was actually an impressive throw.
Yeah.
It's just Borges has a lot of speed to him, and getting that head start when it's 3-2 with 2 outs helps a lot. His first pitch to Sullivan is a strike, and it's a late steal by Garrett Howe. And it now puts 2 runners in scoring position for the Generals. It was an interesting play there. It looked like maybe, I don't know if Howe was trying to throw to Tom Sox off or he was throwing off himself. Second pitch coming now, and it will be chopped into foul territory.
It seems like the Generals, at least from the first 2 innings we're seeing, they're putting more of an aggressive offensive approach here. I mean, first pitch, and he steals. Now there's 2 runners in scoring position. It's working for them, but it's definitely more of an aggressive approach.
0-2 pitch coming for Shankman. That one's down in the dirt. Erickson keeps the ball in front of him, though. Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, Waynesboro Generals leads the Valley Baseball League in stolen bases. So, I mean, they're able to do that kind of stuff. And, they also lead the Valley Baseball League in runs. So that aggressive approach, as you mentioned, has been huge for the Generals all season long. It's 1-2 pitch count for Shankman. And that's going to be a good shot by Sullivan. And it's going to drop into center field. and it will bring Borges and Howe home to make this now a 4-0 lead for the Generals. And just like that, it was looked like Shankman had a chance to get out of his inning without any damage. And now the Generals have put 2 more runs on the board here in this inning. And just like that, they have doubled their run total from the first inning here in the second, as Caleb Cawley will be up to bat next. And Cawley takes that first pitch for a ball.
This was kind of the narrative for the Tom Sox last night. Their hit placement was really good. Now the Generals, their hit placement seems to be right on point. It's a perfect pocket in right center field.
That pitch there inside. I mean, yeah, the first two. I mean, these last 2 batters, I mean, he hit it for Sullivan. He hit it right in between the right and center field and just a little shallow shot. Didn't give him enough time to get the ball. And then we saw with Howe, and it rolled into right field. That pitch is coming out. That's going to be a strike. Make the count 2-1 now. Shankman looking to get out of this inning without giving up any more runs. He's still got to run on first. That one's going to be chopped to Kyle Edwards, the shortstop. He's just going to toss it to Gavin Abrams to get the Sox out of the inning. Outside of that, though, the Tom Sox give up 2 more runs. They now trail 4-0, still looking to generate some offense. Still no hits as we enter the bottom of the second. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to, once again, the Kate Collins Field here in Waynesboro. Tom Sox trail 4-0 here early as we enter the bottom of the second. For the Sox, though, I mean, we talked about the top 3 batters just getting guys on base. Now the next 3 batters known for their power, as we're going to start with Garrett Spikes up to bat first. On a year, he only has 2 home runs, but we know he likes to take the deep shots, especially deep in right field. So we have seen sometimes when he gets the bat on it, just if the ball, everyone just knows it's gone. You see everyone in the dugout already celebrating before we even put runs on the board.
Yeah, it was the first Grand Slam since 2019 on Sunday night.
First pitch coming to Hardy, and that's going to roll right past him and the second baseman, and we're rolling to center field for Garrett Spikes for a quick first pitch single. Up next will be the designated hitter, Calvin Alexander, who's really picked it up here, especially when the Tom Sox have needed it. He's hitless his first 5 games as a Tom Sox this season. And in Satchel Norman, his college teammate gets drafted. He had to take on more of a role behind the plate as he swings through that one for strike number 1. He'd take more of a role behind the plate. And since then, I mean, he's had 5 home runs since then. And he's 1 home run from tying the single season record for the Tom Sox. That pitch for Hardy's outside for ball number 1. He also had one yesterday in their game against Covington. That really blew the doors off and ended the Lumberjack and was part of the reason why Lumberjack season ended. But that one will be chopped to second base, and it will be a double play. A 5-4-3 double play to be exact for the Waynesboro Generals. And just like that, right when you thought the Tom Sox may have generated some offense, they're quickly wiped off the plate, or wiped off the bases. Up next will be Nicholas Erickson.
Another one that hit a 3-run home run last night over the left field wall.
Also had a double in that game. That home run was one of his 2, but, I mean, if yesterday's game was any sort of hint as to what he's going to be in the playoffs, and he went 3 for 4, was a huge part in that as well. So that breaking ball will not get down in time for ball number 1.
Erickson from VCU and resides in Richmond.
Second pitch coming out, it's in the dirt for ball number 2. Tom Sox still looking to generate some sort of offense. As after Garrick Spike's single didn't matter. That one down low once again for ball number 3. Erickson manages to get on base. Kyle Edwards will be up next for the Sox. 3-0 pitch for Hardy is coming. And that one will be called a strike. Erickson is taking his little walk to first base, but he would have to walk back now as that one gets down just at the bottom of the strike zone.
Definitely a close one there. He's still ahead of the count, though.
3-1 count for Erickson. Tom Sox looking to get another runner on base. That one will for sure be a ball there, and it'll put a runner on first. After the Erickson's walk, it'll put Kyle Edwards at the plate. Edwards on the season batted .227, had an RBI double in Game 1 against the Lumberjacks. Despite his batting average, he seems like he's a much more consistent hitter, and has been a guy that Tom Sox can rely on in these sort of situations.
You really want to get him on base because he leads the team in stolen bases with 11. And he's definitely a player that you want to get in scoring position.
First pitch against Edwards was a strike. Second pitch coming now. That's in the dirt. But Garrison does well to stay in front of that one to keep Erickson on first. But yeah, as you mentioned, we've seen Edwards show the speed off, whether it be in the infield or running the bases. Getting him just simply on base just puts a lot more pressure against any team's pitchers. 1-1 pitch coming for Hardy, and it will be down at dirt as Edwards now has a 2-1 count. Erickson now taking a big lead off at first. And I have 2-1 pitches in there for strike number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs for Kyle Edwards. Only 3 Tom Sox have managed to get on base so far, and only 1 of those have been hit. And that was a single to start the inning by Garrett Spikes. That one will be fouled away by Kyle Edwards. Count remains 2-2. Hardy now gets ready to wind up. Here it comes. And that one is high to make it a full count. Now if you're Hardy, maybe a little bit of pressure is there to sense. I mean, if he walks Edwards here, that'll put a runner on first and second. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, as that will be a swing and a miss for Edwards. And it will be strike number 3. And now the Tom Sox leave Nick Erickson on first base. For Tom Sox, no runs scored. Once again, they did get the single, but that will be the only thing they could really manage. Outside of that, Generals still lead this one 4-0, and they're up to bat next. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Kate Collins Field. For the Tom Sox, they've given up 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings. As now they will make a pitching change. They will go from White Shankman to Emmett Bice. He's looking to get some sort of just kind of keeping the Generals off the board.
Emmett's last appearance was against the River Bandits. He pitched 5 innings and 1 strikeout and 4 walks. Not his best outing, but he's had some time off. And he's had some good outings before that.
Yeah, he's generally been one of the more consistent pitchers for the Tom Sox. They've called on him a bunch of times, whether it be to start or just coming in and relief. I mean, having that type of versatility helps your team out a lot. First batter he will face will be T.J. Clarkson, who hit the 2-run home run in the first. And his first pitch will be a strike. Emmett Bice, one of those pitchers that work quickly, and we are seeing it already. That one will be shot straight up in the air, and it will be handled by Christian Martin. He has to run. He had to run and get that one. May have gotten even a little bit blinded by the sun, the way he kind of had to tilt his head to the side. Either way, though, it would be the first out for Emmett Bice, getting a big hitter and Clarkson out. And now it would be the catcher, Tanner Garrison, at the plate for the Generals. First pitch coming for Bice. It's down low for ball number 1. Garrison in that first inning had a fly out to center field. 1-0 pitch coming, and that's going to hit Garrison in the back. Didn't have a ton of speed on it, but still, when you get hit by a pitch, it's not the nicest thing in the world. And he got hit in the back there.
Definitely not, and not what you want first coming out on the mound. Only your second batter.
You got a tough batter out in Clarkson, but he puts Tanner Garrison on base. And now you get the power hitter and Jalen Vasquez up. 7 home runs on the year. Among the league leaders in the Valley Baseball League.
I'm wanting to see a little more energy from the Tom Sox. Looks like they're a little bit down right now.
First pitch coming for Bice. Vasquez fakes the bunt, and it will be down for ball number 1. I mean, as you mentioned, playing those 2 9-inning games, just playing a doubleheader in general, just 7 innings is rough, and then playing 2 9-inning games in playoff baseball, it's kind of jamming all the games in at once doesn't really help your team. By second pitch coming, that one down in the dirt. And it will pass Erickson. A little bit of confusion there between Garrison and Vasquez, or not really Vasquez, but Garrison. He couldn't tell if he was allowed to advance there, and Vasquez waved him on to keep going. A little walk to second for him. And now puts Garrison in scoring position, with Bice reeling right now. 2-0 pitch coming for Bice, and that one almost hit Vasquez in the head. Will be a 3-0 count now, as Bice is just looking to get some control back. He's missing high, he's missing low. He's just got to find a sweet spot in the middle. 3-0 count against Vasquez, and that one high once again for ball number 4. And it will now put Vasquez on at first. Puts runners on first and second. And now Casey Karras will come up to bat. Casey Karras in the second inning, he had a flyout to left field. One of the back-to-back flyouts to Carter Cunningham to start the second inning, where it looked like Shankman might have had an easy inning, but General's got some offense going, and that's going to be a deep shot to right field. Garrett Spikes will handle that one, but both runners will advance easily. So now Generals now have 2 more runners and have one runner in scoring position, now 2. And now Bice is in a little bit of a hole here. Already down 4-0.
It's great out by Spikes, but definitely a little nerve-wracking having now 2 runners in scoring position. So far, each half inning, they've scored 2 runs as well.
First pitch there for Bice is in for strike 1. And right now, it seems like a lot of these, the runners with scoring runners on base right now could have, been. Then it couldn't have happened. We did both walks, hit by pitch and a walk there. That will be a shot to center field, but it will be handled by Trey Younger, and it will be the first inning that the Tom Sox have had where they don't give up a run on the scoreboard. However, for them, they still trail 4-0. Only 1 hit to their count so far. Still looking to generate some offense, and they have their chance heading into the bottom of the 3rd. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome once again to Kate Collins Field in Waynesboro. Tom Sox currently trailing this one 4-0. Generals rolling off a couple of a home run, and then just a couple more mistakes for the team overall. A couple of walks here and there, and just Waynesboro's been able to capitalize on those mistakes. For the Tom Sox, Gavin Abrams steps into the batter's box to lead off at the bottom of the third. Henry Hardy work on the mound for the Generals, and that one first pitch will be fouled away by Abrams.
Almost went over the net, but was just still in the field.
Didn't want to give the fans the ball there for a freezy pop here. Stay in the field. 0-1 count now with Hardy versus Abrams. A breaking ball, not low enough. It will be high for ball number 1. Hardy has made 5 appearances in the regular season. 3 of those were against the Tom Sox. And I'll make that 4 tonight in 6. As Abrams will swing through that one for strike number 2. It's been an up and down appearances for Hardy. But right now, this has been a positive one. Only giving up 1 hit and 2 walks to the Tom Sox so far. That one will be outside for ball number 2.
Abrams last night hit a double.
2-2 pitch for Hardy coming now. Abrams will send that one into left field to Karras. He will get under that one for a fly out for out number 1. As the Tom Sox will work their way back up to the start of the batting order with Christian Martin coming to the plate. Looked like for Martin, I mean, in the first inning, the Tom Sox were going to generate some offense. Martin walked, had a leadoff walk to put him at first. After that, the Tom Sox weren't able to get anyone on base. Henry Hardy first pitch is a breaking ball, and it will hit the outside corner for strike number 1. Hardy's second pitch coming now. That one will be down in the dirt for ball number 1. Hardy's last outing, he pitched 5 innings, had 4 strikeouts against the Tom Sox back on July 24th, which was a Waynesboro win. So that pitch now coming. A breaking ball hits the inside corner now for strike number 2. One-two count now for Hardy. That one coming in, another breaking ball, but it will be shot by Martin just over the head of Jalen Vasquez, and it will be a single for Martin. He will get back on base once for the second time today, getting a walk in the first, and now a single here. As now Carter Cunningham will return to the batter's box. Back in the first inning. He had a fly out to center field. Moved him to 2 for 11 during the playoffs, which has been not something I don't think we would have saw coming into the playoffs. As he takes the first pitch from Hardy for strike number 1. Pitch coming now. Martin, he's taken off to second, but it will get down for a single for Cunningham. He takes that one into center field, and Martin will actually advance to third. So he will use his leadoff there from first to get to second. He has the speed to turn bases, and he does so there. And now it puts runners on the corner with Cole Wagner coming up to bat next, which is someone you definitely want to see with a runner on third.
Absolutely. That was a great jump by Martin to be able to get into scoring position. And now we've got one of our biggest power hitters, Cole Wagner, up to bat. Happy to see the bats come alive here in the third.
So that pitch by Wagner, he will take the first pitch there, and that will go deep into right field, and it will get over the head of Thad Ector and it will allow Martin to walk home for the first score of the game for the Tom Sox. A stand-up double for Cole Wagner. A huge shot there, and that just puts Tom Sox, not really right back in this, but now you got momentum. You got 2 runners in scoring position. And with only 1 out, and now Henry Hardy, who hasn't played too much this season, it's only his 6th appearance. As mentioned, he's been on the team the entire season, and now he has a little bit of pressure on him.
For sure, yeah. Hardy was pitching against the Tom Sox in their last meeting, and it's good now the Tom Sox are getting their bats alive, and now that is Cole Wagner's 35th game he has reached base, and he is now tied with Michael Walensky for the team record.
He will have a shot to break that record in tomorrow's game, which would also be here at K. Collins Field. Nonetheless, though, the Tom Sox get on the board finally here in the bottom of the 3rd, trailing this one 4-1 with Trey Younger in the batter's box. He takes the first pitch foul. 0-1 count now for Hardy with 1 out. And that one, it looked like it got out the glove of Garrison there, and it will allow Carter Cunningham and Cole Wagner to get to advance in off the wild pitch. And now it's a 4-2 game.
Great way for Cunningham to take advantage of that. He had a good lead, and he just kept moving forward. And catcher Garrison just didn't really go to the ball fast enough to be able to even be close to getting him out. So great move by Cunningham, and now Cole Wagner is still in scoring position.
Looked like the ball just kind of flew out of the hand of Garrison. He had it, and that's going to be a chopper for Younger, and it's going to be an error. It looks like it could be an error between Howe and Vasquez, and it's going to allow Cole Wagner to score. And just like that, those Tom Sox are only down 1 run. A huge miscommunication there between Vasquez and Howe. You can even see on Vasquez's face, just the gestures he made. He put his hands up, not happy with Howe. He might have called for it, and Howe didn't listen or something, or just didn't get out the way in time. And now the Tom Sox only down 1 run.
Huge turnaround for the Tom Sox.
And now puts Garrett Spikes in the batter's box. Just a costly error there for the Generals.
At this point in the season, those kind of mistakes are not going to cut it.
So Hardy's only operating with 1 out. And now Trey Younger's going to take off. Oh, wow, what a snag there by Cauley. Younger took off trying to get a lead off like we saw with Martin and we saw earlier with the Generals. And just a great snag by Cauley after Spikes hit a line drive to him and allowed for the quick double play. Tom Sox finally get on the board. They generate some offense, get 3 runs there. And now the Tom Sox only trail this one by 1. Emmett Bice will be stepping back on the mound when we return. And the Generals, we're looking to get more offense because they're going to need it right now. Generals lead this one 4-3. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. Generals will be batting here to start the 4th inning. What was once a 4-0 game, Tom Sox quickly answered in the 3rd inning to make it a 1-run deficit. Thanks to some key base running and good hitting by the Sox, something that was missing in the first 2 innings. Emmett Bice still on the mound for the Tom Sox. And he will take on Tyler Borges. And that first pitch is in for a strike. And so is that second pitch for a quick 0-2 count for Bice. And all of a sudden, it looks like the Tom Sox are back on track.
Yeah, it looks like that last inning. Now it's a 1-run tie, 2-run win for the Tom Sox.
And Emmett Bice is now going to get that third strike, working quick. Cut you off, Destiny. But
okay.
He just works so quick with it. And, I mean, 1, 2, 3 pitches there, and that's 1, 2, 3 strikes for the first out of the fourth inning. Up next now will be Garrett Howe for the Generals. That first pitch for Bice. This time, though, will be down low for ball number 1.
Yeah, what I was going to say is just like the momentum and the energy on the field just looks like it elevated after that last inning.
That breaking ball in for strike number 1. Caught the outside of the strike zone. Emmett Bice once again working quick. 1-1 count. That one's inside. Looked like the ball got away from him there. Put the count now at 2-1. 2-1 pitch for Bice coming. That one's down in the dirt. Gets away from Erickson for ball number 3. But with no runners on base, there's no harm in that. Bice takes a little walk around the mound, comes back up. And now here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be high once again. It will be ball number 4. And we'll walk Howe. Now up next for the Generals will be Joseph Sullivan, who in that second inning had a single to center field, which brought 2 runs home, brought Borges and Garrett Howe home to make it a 4-0 game and really put a lot of pressure on the Sox, but Sox have regained some of that momentum. First pitch for Bice coming. That one's in for strike number 1. Bice looks towards Howe, gets ready to pitch now. That pitch coming. That's breaking ball in for strike number 2. Taking a little bit more time with Howe on first. Make sure he doesn't take too much of a lead off. 0-2 pitch coming now. Now it'll be a chopper, but it will be rolled foul. Cole Wagner was able to get a glove on it, but not in time before it rolled foul. Howe, on the other hand, was already taken off for second, so if that would have been ruled fair, you would have had a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Either way, though, it's 0-2 now, once again. Bice pitch coming. That one's inside on Sullivan. Count moves to 1-2. Bice gets ready to throw. Pitch incoming. That one misses in a similar spot. Down low, nearly in the dirt. Inside. For a 2-2 count now. Now Bice was once and up in the count 0-2. Now counts at 2-2. Pitch coming out. That one's outside. It will now move the count to full. It was a good fight for Sullivan. He was down to count 0-2. He fouled that third pitch. And just like that, the 3-2 count. And he's looking to get back on base. 3-2 pitch coming. Now it'll be a chopped away again for Sullivan. Making him continue to throw pitches. Looks like once again, the Generals trying to be aggressive. Howe, that's the second time he's taken for second and had to walk back. That's been generally Generals lead the Valley Baseball League in stolen bases. And that's going to be another steal, but it will be ball number 4. So it will not matter, as now the Generals have a runner on first and second with 1 away after the Tom Sox put up 3 in the third. Generals garnered some offense now themselves, just simply working on the mistakes of Bice, which warrants a mound visit to kind of just calm him down.
Definitely a good time for Bice to get a little bit of a break. Slow the game down a little bit.
He looks like he's losing some of his confidence. He had a lot. 3 pitches, and he got the first strikeout of the inning, and then up in the count 0-2 against Sullivan, walking him there just really hurts for the Sox. Especially because the 3 runs they scored in the third, just trying to keep the Generals off the board themselves. Erickson will walk back to home plate, and we will get ready to play once again. First pitch coming there. That's going to be strike number 1. As Caleb Cawley, the first baseman, is on up to bat now. And that breaking ball is going to get down for strike number 2. It looks like Emmett Bice needing a little bit of break, as you mentioned. His gains some of that confidence back with us after a quick chat. He wants to limit the damage. It's going to need to be perfect from here almost. And that's going to be a swing and a miss there for strike number 3. Gets Cawley swinging through that one for out number 2. Now that kind of alleviates some of that pressure off of Bice's shoulders. And like I said, maybe just need a little pep talk.
Yeah, now only 1 out away to get out of the inning. It's a great way for him to recover.
Next will be TJ Clarkson. First pitch coming for Bice. That will be fouled back towards the parking lot for Clarkson. Clarkson earlier in that first inning, the 2-run shot, his 6th homer of the season. Trying to keep up with Jalen Vasquez for that title for the team, who has 7. That pitch there for Bice, down low for ball number 1. One count now for Bice. Pitch coming, will be chopped by Clarkson to Gavin Abrams, and it will be thrown on to Cole Wagner. What originally looked like would have been trouble for Bice. He's going to get out the inning, giving up no runs once again. 2 goose eggs on the board for him, and it keeps the Tom Sox within striking distance. They are down in this one 4-3, but they're up to bat next, and the offense rolling after that 3rd inning spurt. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. Henry Hardy remains on the mound for the Generals after getting up 3 runs in that bottom third. A lot of good offense for the Sox. Cole Wagner double. Allowed Carter Cunningham and Christian Martin to score. And then a wild pitch with Trey Younger up to bat next. Carter Cunningham not scoring that double by Cole Wagner. He advanced to third. Carter Cunningham scored on the Trey Younger wild pitch, and then Younger reached base on the error, which allowed Cole Wagner to score. And now the Sox are back in this game. Calvin Alexander is in the batter's box, and he will take that first pitch for a strike.
Last night, KJ had a 2-run home run over the left field wall.
Second pitch coming now. Breaking ball in for strike number 2. Mentioned earlier, Calvin is 1 home run away from tying the team's single-season record. He has 5 homers already. Pitch coming now. Fastball will be caught a ball just a little bit outside. Alexander looking to get back in his pitch count. Hardy working up 1-2. Alexander will foul that one away towards the Waynesboro bullpen.
No action right now in the Tom Sox bullpen.
Don't have a great view of Waynesboro's.
I got a little bit of a corner. It does not look that active.
Other way, though, Calvin Alexander will swing through that curveball from Henry Hardy. A good-looking pitch there. And it will set Alexander down for strike number 3. That's Hardy's second strikeout of the day. Next up for the Tom Sox, you got a catcher at designated hitter in Calvin Alexander. Now you get the actual catcher in Nicholas Erickson. Tom Sox trail this one 4-3. Henry Hardy first pitch coming against Erickson. That one's down to dirt. Gets away from Garrison. For ball number 1. Second pitch for Hardy coming now. Breaking ball. Another good-looking breaking ball that will drop in the strike zone. For strike number 1. Hardy throughout this one. Looks like he's had a lot of control, a little bit more so than the Tom Sox pitcher so far. That pitch, though, will be driven into left field for Erickson. He will get a 1-out single to put another base runner on for the Tom Sox as they're still looking to take the lead in here. Nicholas Erickson will be the tying run if he's able to get across. And now Kyle Edwards enters the batter's box. Looking to get on base for the first time today. He struck out earlier in this one. That first pitch will be fouled away over the right side bleachers. Hardy pitch coming now. Edwards fouled once again. It will hit the net, stay in the field. Edwards tosses that one too. His second base buddy in the infield, Gavin Abrams, who takes back to Tom Sox dugout. Oh, 2 count. Edwards would be the leading run for the Sox to be able to get on base. That ball there, down low. Moves the count to 1-2. One-two pitch coming out. Breaking ball there. Outside for Hardy. 2-2 pitch for Hardy. He's getting ready to throw. Here it comes. Edwards will shoot that one up straight into the air, and it will be handled by the right fielder Thad Ector in shallow right field for the second out of this inning. Takes some of the pressure off of Hardy after allowing Erickson to get on base. Now 2 outs as Gavin Abrams walks in.
Yeah, something we're seeing a little too often is those pop flies. Those are just easy outs for the opponent. Something like what Nick Erickson just hit, a base hit into the outfield. It's what you need in situations like this.
First pitch to Gavin Abrams. That one is in. Fastball for a strike. Hardy taking his time. A little bit different than the Tom Sox pitchers. 0-1 pitch coming. That one is down low for ball number 1. Whereas we're seeing Emmett Bice work very quick when he's on the mound. Hardy, though, looks like he's just going through his different pitches with Garrison. 1-1 pitch coming now. That fastball will be high to Gavin Abrams to move the count to 2-1. Two-one pitch coming to Abrams. That's going to be shot in to center field. Looks to be shallow. You got 3 fielders going for it, and it will drop for the Tom Sox. A good-looking hit there by Abrams. He just went straight up in the air, but no one was able to get there in time. You had 3 guys going for it. You had Borges, Ector, and Sullivan going for it. No one was able to get a handle on it. And that advances Nick Erickson to third, and it puts Gavin Abrams on first. And now the Waynesboro manager, Zach Cole, will be coming to the mound. Could be the end of the day for Hardy.
Yep, looks like he will be done for today and will be put in a reliever. Can't quite see his number yet.
He will pass the ball off, and in comes pitcher from the Generals bullpen. Warming up in an area we couldn't see, but Hardy for today was strong in the beginning in those first 2 innings, but struggled in that 3rd inning, and now staying in a little bit of a predicament. In 3 2/3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. I mean, I don't think the stats really does him justice. Outside of that 3rd inning, he was a strong pitcher, and as of late now, either way, though, will be a pitch change for the Generals. And Tom Sox offense looking to get more runs on the board. On the mound now for the Generals. Excuse me. Give me just one more second. The Generals roster, there is no 42, but that's who is on the mound. It would actually be a player who's listed as 99 on the roster, and Riley Hughie out of College of Central Florida, not to get confused with the University of Central Florida.
Probably a good time to put in a reliever. You know, you got the winning run on first, the tying run on third in scoring position. So definitely a good time to bring in a new pitcher for the Generals.
Yeah, as mentioned, I mean, Hardy strong in those first 2 innings, and that 3rd inning, getting up to 3 runs and just allowing the Tom Sox to get right back in this one. And now in this 4th inning, I mean, even though there's 2 outs, get runners on the corners, you don't want to make a mistake. And maybe Hardy just losing some of that composure. Getting about 60 pitches in, too. So, I mean, the arm isn't at full strength right now. I mean, it's not in its worst position, but you just want your best pitchers out right now, especially in a crucial game one. As Waynesboro, I mean, they get 2 home games. They don't want to drop one of those and then have to go to Charlottesville, potentially, to win there. Christian Martin steps in now with runners on the corner, 2 outs. And will be the first batter Riley Hughey faces. First pitch coming. That's a fastball. Martin barely able to get his bat on it. It will be fouled back. Hughey was actually an addition from the Winchester Royals. And that again for the Royals, he pitched. It was actually going to be a shot for Martin.
Looks like it went down the left field line, but was not caught.
I was not able to get a good look at that one. Thanks for that. He pitched 13 innings for the Royals, a 1.38 ERA in 9 games, 2 saves, had 19 strikeouts and 9 walks. Decent. This looks like a solid pickup for the Generals. 0-2 pitch coming now for Martin. That's going to be outside for ball number 1. Abrams on first, Erickson on third. 1-2 pitch coming to Martin. A curveball just high. All of the Generals are starting to take their trot to the dugout, similar to what we saw with Nick Erickson earlier, where he was about to take his walk, had to walk back on all the infielders. And
definitely a close call there.
Will be called just high. 2-2 pitch coming now. Martin's going to take that one into left field. Is it going to get behind the left fielder? It will, and it will drop. It will bring home Erickson, and it will bring home Abrams. And that's going to be a 2-run stand-up double for Christian Martin, who loses his helmet in the process. Does that a lot with his speed that he brings. And now the Tom Sox, they're leading in this one 5-4 thanks to a huge third inning. And now a good-looking double for Christian Martin that just, I mean, it looked like the outfielders were just a little bit too far in with their shifts.
Yeah, talk about hit placement. I've been saying this all postseason. It's going to be key for getting runs on the board, and now the Tom Sox have this game by 1 run.
First pitch to Cunningham will be strike number 1. Despite the 2 runs I scored, Tom Sox still have a runner in scoring position with Christian Martin. Second pitch coming, curveball for Hughey, and it will not be called a strike. So he will look, get a change of balls. Generals dominated the first 2 innings. The Tom Sox have dominated these last 2 innings to put them up on top 5-4. 1-1 pitch coming to Cunningham. Now it's going to be shot to left field. He will run up to grab it, and he will this time. Casey Karras will. And that's going to be a 3rd out of the inning for the Tom Sox. Generals get out of that one. Riley Hughey gets out of that one, but they give up 2 runs. Tom Sox now in the lead, 5-4 as we head into the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. Thanks to 2 huge innings for the Sox, they are now up in this one. Trailing 4-0, 3 runs in the third, 2 in the fourth. Emmett Bice remains on the mound for the Tom Sox as they lead this one 5-4. First player to the plate for the Generals will be Tanner Garrison, the catcher. Tom Sox offense has gotten rolling just at the right time, just when it looked like the game was getting a little bit bleak early on. And they have caught fire when it matters. That first pitch there will be a swing and a miss for Garrison for strike number 1. Second pitch now for Bice. Be down and away to even the count at 1-1. Pitch coming now again for Bice. Breaking ball just inside. Bice now. Hit that fastball in for strike number 2. Looking to get his 3rd strikeout of the day. Two pitch coming. Breaking ball was very high in the beginning. Did drop a little bit, but just not enough, and it will put the count to full. 3-2 pitch for Bice. And Garrison will survive with a foul ball that flies over the left field fence.
Should be interesting to see how the defense for the Tom Sox tries to maintain this lead.
3-2 pitch. That'll be chopped foul. We will replay the full count. Yeah, I mean, right now, it seemed like, as you mentioned earlier, it just seemed like the energy was down for the team. Doesn't help playing 18 innings of baseball yesterday. But now, with the offense creating the firepower that they have, now you got the defense to have to answer with that. Be once again fouled by Garrison. Count stays full. Full count again for Bice. And that's going to hit Garrison. That's the second time he's been hit today. He will once again get on base. Will be the 3rd time. Excuse me, the 2nd time he's done so. It's now Jalen Vasquez will step up to plate. Bice was looking for its 3rd strikeout there. Instead, now has a runner on first off an errant pitch that hit Garrison. As Vasquez will take that first pitch for a ball. Emmett Bice working with a 1-run lead. One-zero pitch coming. That one misses in the same spot to Vasquez. Down and inside, nearly in the dirt. Count goes to 2-0. 2-0 pitch. Pitch is high for ball number 3. Vasquez also looking for his 2nd time to get on base today. Had a strikeout back in the first. Got a walk in the 3rd. 3-0 pitch. That one is in. Fastball for strike number 1. Bice looks towards Garrison. 3-1 pitch and coming. Fouled away by Vasquez, and he did not look happy with that one.
Yeah, it looked a little lone away. Could maybe get been ball 4.
Vasquez unable to get any sort of contact that we're used to seeing from him. Has the power to get home runs, to get those extra base hits, and hasn't done so far. That pitch there will be ball number 4, and will now put runners on first and second for Casey Karras, the left fielder. But it looks like there will be, before we get to Casey Karras, there will be another mound visit. This could be the end of the day for Emmett Bice. He's plunked a few batters. Has had 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. Already had a couple of talks with Erickson.
Yeah, it looks like I just saw Chandler Marsh do a quick jog up and down to the bullpen and back. Not sure if he'll go in right now.
Seems like a long talk for, just telling a guy like your day is done. Looks more so just trying to get Emmett back in this one, and that's what Ramon Garza will do. Emmett Bice will stay in this game. Runners on first and second with 0 outs. Thanks to the Tom Sox, 5 runs in these 3rd and 4th innings. They lead this one. But with Emmett Bice reeling the way he has been, the lead is not safe.
Looks like Chandler Marsh will begin to warm up in the bullpen for the Tom Sox.
Come back to the game. Case Karras, first pitch will get shot straight to center field. Trey Unger has to run up to grab that one, and he will do so for out number 1. So far, so good. After the mound visit, once again for Emmett Bice. We've seen that a few times where it just looks like he just needs a little chat, just needs a little breather to recollect his thoughts. And so far, he has done so. Stole 2 goose eggs since he's entered the game. And he's looking to make that 3 despite runners on first and second. As Thad Ector, the right fielder, come up to bat next. First pitch coming. That one inside. Ball number 1. Interestingly there, it looked like Vasquez was about to take off for second. I don't think Garrison was ready for that. He had to dig his cleat into that one and get back to first. 1-0 pitch now. That breaking ball is in for strike number 1. One pitch for Bice against Thad Ector. That one in the dirt. Erickson did a great job there to keep that one from going into the back wall. Because if it would have, definitely would have advanced runners.
Yeah, great block by Erickson.
Tough little backhand grab. Two-one pitch for Bice. That one doesn't even make it to home plate before it bounces in the dirt. Moves the count to 3-1. Again, Erickson does a good job there to keep the ball within his vicinity to keep runners on first and second.
Yeah, it looks like Bice might just be running out of steam. See this sometimes with pitchers. Just one inning will just not be the same as the last.
Currently at 43 pitches on the day. As Ector will dribble that one down into the Tom Sox dugout. We'll move the count to full. Mentioned earlier, Thad Ector in the regular season wasn't the most productive hitter for Waynesboro, batting about 170, but has really come alive in these playoffs. But nonetheless, that'll be a swing and a miss as Bice will get that one to give himself a little bit more composure, a little bit more momentum. Since the mound visit, 2 outs, and no runners have advanced. So now the second baseman, Tyler Borges, will come to bat, looking to get some runs on the board for the Generals. First pitch there, inside for ball number 1. Strikeout there. Spice's third. has walked 4 batters. Still hasn't given up a hit. So far, a lot of it's just been a lot of on Bice's control and the 4 walks, a couple of batters hit by pitches. I say that, but I think the same batter was hit twice, both times. Yeah. 1-0 pitch coming. That one once again inside. As Board just had to pull back a little to avoid getting hit. Bice working a little bit slower. 2-0 pitch. Outside and high for a 3-0 count. Three-0 count. Bice looking to limit damage. Pitch coming. That one down to dirt. Erickson has to make a tough grab there. Nonetheless, though, it now loads the bases up for Garrett Howe.
Looks like Emmett will still stay in for this. But I saw Coach Ramon Garza radio the bullpen, probably to get Chandler ready to go.
Right now, Tom Sox are in a tough spot. Don't want to put, realistically, a really fresh arm in the situation, but you don't want to keep a tired arm in there as well. Either way, though, that breaking ball for Bice is in for strike number 1. That last walk was Bice's 5th that he's pitched today. 0-1 count coming. Be ball number 1 now. That's how chucked his swing, but he did not go. 1-1 pitch coming, and that's going to be a good shot in the right field, but it will be handled by Garrett Spikes. Good speed there.
Huge out.
And as you mentioned, a huge out, and that's going to it's going to limit the runs on the board for the Generals, and it will keep this game at 5-4. Tom Sox offense rolling the way it is. A third goose egg on the board for Emmett Bice. Tom Sox lead this one heading into the bottom of the 5th, 5-4. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. Tom Sox lead this one 5-4, thanks to 5 runs in these last 2 innings, 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Now up to bat will be Cole Wagner, who hit an RBI double in his last at bat. That kick-started the Tom Sox runs. First pitch coming against him. That breaking ball down low for ball number 1. Riley Hughie Still on the mound for the Generals. 1-0 pitch coming. Breaking. Cole Wagner checks a swing, but that breaking ball in for strike number 1. 1-1 pitch. Hugie gets Wagner. And that's going to be swing and a miss. Wagner looked like he was taking that one. You want to take that one deep. But he couldn't handle the velocity there from Hugie. One-two pitch. Wagner will get his bat on that one. And a good backhand stop by Borges. But Cole Wagner will get there for a single. A good play by Borges. Yeah. A really impressive play, but Wagner was able to use just enough speed to get the hit.
Yeah, it looked like the throw was just a little weak from the shortstop Borges, but it was a great pick. I mean, that could have gone out into right center field.
Probably wouldn't have mattered. Probably still would have been a single for Wagner, just because the way how the ball was rolling past the infield probably would have been handled by Sullivan to keep Wagner at first. By the way, Borges had a play there to get the out of first, just not quick enough. Trey Younger, the center fielder, now will be at the plate. First pitch is coming. Wagner's going to take off a late swing by Younger. And that's going. They're going to get the tag there. Good throw there by Garrison to Borges. And that's going to clear the base runner from Wagner. It was an interesting, overall it was just an interesting combo there. As Younger, the pitch was already in the mid of Garrison, then he swung through it. Wagner tried stealing that one, just not quick enough. Was quick enough to get to first last time, not quick enough to get to second. Breaking ball by Hugie in. Strike number 2. Younger trails 0-2 now. Pitch coming for Hugie. It'll be a shot right to Borges as Younger can't get there to first in time. And it will be the second out of the inning. As Garrett Spikes will come to the plate now. Was the first hit of the day back in the second inning. And then back in the third. He grounded into a double play. And he will swing through that one for strike number 1. Look like Tom Sox are going to get some more offense, put more points on the more runs on the scoreboard. But Hugie has battled back. Now 2 outs. That ball there is inside though. Moves the count to 1-1. One pitch to Spikes will be chopped back towards the dugout. Hugie takes his time. 1-2 pitch, getting ready to throw. And it'll be a swing and a miss to Garrett Spikes, and that will be the third out of the inning for the Tom Sox. This time around, they're unable to get runs when their 2-run streak of scoring runs. It keeps this game at 5-4. Good fight there by Hugie. After giving up 2 runs in that 4th inning, Generals will go back up to bat, looking to avenge keeping 3 runners on base last time up. Tom Sox lead this one 5-4. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. Emmett Bice for the Sox remains on the mound. Had a little bit of trouble in that last inning. Nonetheless, they will put their trust back into him. The center fielder Joseph Sullivan against him to start the sixth. First pitch there, outside for ball number 1.
Already a timeout.
Maybe a little bit miscommunication there between the two. Maybe Erickson called for a different pitch. Maybe it's just because Bice is just missing that curveball as of late. It's going back to that 5th inning. Emmett Bice hit Tanner Garrison to start the inning and then walked Jalen Vasquez. And then with 2 outs, Tyler Borges was able to get on with a walk to load the bases up and really put pressure on Bice. But he was able to do it. But, I mean, just a lot of mistakes by Bice has put himself in these tough situations. He's been able to get out of them, but just more pressure on himself, and he can't really have that when this game is this tight.
Definitely not.
One of pitch there. Sullivan holds up, moves the count to 2-0. Two-0 pitch. That's going to be a swing and a miss for Sullivan. Good velocity pitch there by Bice. After 2 breaking balls, and he gets that one in. Mixing up the speeds. 2-1 pitch coming to Sullivan. Fastball misses for ball number 3. So work in the Tom Sox bullpen. Depending on how Bice performs this inning. 3-1 pitch coming. That one's inside for ball number 4. And it will put a runner on first. Joseph Sullivan.
Yeah, it definitely was inside, but it looks like Emmett was just off there. He looked a little frustrated with that call.
Caleb Cawley, the first baseman, now into the batter's box. Sullivan already taking his lead before Cawley even got into the batter's box. Count, and that's going to plunk Cawley in the back, and now that puts runners on first and second. Again, just more mistakes by Bice. He's been able to get out of them, but as we can see, this might be time for a change. And it looks like Tom Sox will do it this time. Seeing all the infielders come in. We saw this last time, though. I thought Bice was going to go out, and he didn't. But this time, he will wave in the bullpen.
Yeah, definitely a tough outing for Bice. He was really good to be put in for relief. It just seems like he's losing some steam. And now Chandler Marsh of the University of Georgia will come in replacement of Emmett Bice.
I mean, it's one that Bice pitched poorly in this one. It was just he was just missing a lot of his pitches, but he was able to get out of these innings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with Wyatt Schenkman in, they gave up 2 runs in both the first and second inning for a 4-0 deficit. And then, I mean, Bice came in, and right now he's in position for the win. I mean, keeping 3 goose egg innings for him. But nonetheless, I mean, just putting more pressure on himself, especially because he was pushing 70 pitches now. He was at 68 as he got pulled. Just don't want that extra stress on this team, especially when you're only up by 1.
Chandler Marsh's last appearance was also against the Generals, where he had 3 strikeouts, no walks, and let up 1 hit amongst 2 innings pitched. Looks like the most he's ever pitched is 3 innings. Usually he pitches around 2 innings.
Yeah, just a simple reliever, but when he's worked, as you basically mentioned, he's been solid. And right now, that's what the Tom Sox need to keep the Generals' runners off the bases. So they want to secure this win. which will be a huge win in this series as the Tom Sox play here in Waynesboro today, and then they play here in Waynesboro again tomorrow with a potential Game 3 in Charlottesville. I mean, as a 1 seed, you thought you would get those 2 home games, and you're not, which is kind of not a good sign for your Tom Sox. Nonetheless, though, Tom Sox have so far answered that bell down 4-0 early in this one off a T.J. Clarkson 2-run home run and then a Joseph Sullivan single that brought Tyler Borges and Garrett Howell home in the second. But the Tom Sox were able to get the runs on the board thanks to Cole Wagner double, wild pitch, a Trey Younger error, a single. Trey Younger was able to reach base on an error that allowed Carter Cunningham to come home, and then a Christian Martin double to bring 2 more runs in to give the Sox the 5-4 lead. Chandler Marsh first pitch, that one just outside for ball number 1. Speaking of T.J. Clarkson, he is in the batter's box for the Generals. 1-0 pitch. That fastball this time is in there for strike number 1. Marsh comes into a tough spot with runners on first and second, no outs. Pitch coming. That's a swing and a miss for Clarkson. Now it puts the count at 1-2. Chandler Marsh looking to strike out his first batter he faces. Marsh gets ready to throw. Pitch coming. Just foul tipped by Clarkson to keep the count at 1-2. Marsh taking a longer time than Blythe was as he looks back towards second. Pitch coming, good breaking ball there, and Clarkson will swing through that one for the first out. A nice little pitch there for Marsh. Alleviates some of the pressure on him early, and he'll get 1 out against the Generals.
Definitely a great way for Marsh to start out in relief this inning.
There's a huge pitch there. Kind of just trying to limit the runs put on the board by the Generals, hoping to get 0. First pitch coming from Marsh to Tanner Garrison, and now will be popped up to Gavin Abrams, who makes the grab. What a play there by Abrams. It was popped up behind Cole Wagner, first baseman. Wagner and Garrett Spikes in right field both come up to make it, but Abrams a little bit quicker on his feet with that one, able to run down that one and make a good catch.
Yeah, huge out. You know, we got a runner in scoring position. If that dropped, good chance that he could have made it home to tie up the game. So, huge effort by Gavin Abrams.
Yeah, depending what would have happened with the ball after that. And it would mean it helped that Cole Wagner and Garrett Sparks were both there. It would have definitely put runners bases loaded at the very least. First pitch coming from Marsh, because Jalen Vasquez now will be outside for ball number 1. Runners remain on first and second. Tom Sox still hold a 1-run lead. One 0 pitch coming. That one down low. Ball number 2. Vasquez on the day, 0 for 1. He struck out. His other two at bats, he's walked both times. Definitely been, even with that strikeout, definitely been disciplined at the plate. As he leads in this count 2-0 against Chandler Marsh. Marsh pitch coming, good fastball there. Gets in the strike zone for strike number 1.
Marsh looks back at second again. And Vasquez, a good heater there again. He swings through that one. Evens the count at 2-2. Good way to fight back in this one. Being now 2-0 in the count. Got runners already on first and second. But Marsh able to fight back. Even the count at twos with 2 outs. It'll be a quick timeout by Marsh. Marsh gets ready to throw now. With the 2-2 pitch. That breaking ball just outside for ball number 3.
Definitely a close call there.
Looked like it could have had a chance to hit the outside top corner. But nonetheless, Marsh will have to continue his battle with Jalen Vasquez. It's a full count now. Pitch coming. Vasquez fouls that one. Vasquez on a year, a 261 hitter. And especially he brings the big bat, 7 homers and 28 RBIs. Still looking to get his first base hit of the day. Full pitch coming again. That one down in the dirt for ball number 3, and it loads the bases. The 3rd walk of the day for Jalen Vasquez. And now Chandler Marsh, first batter, he's allowed on base as he inherited the runners on first and second. But he has to find a way to get out of this situation now.
Definitely a tough situation, but got 2 outs. As long as everything stays within the infield, should not be too damaging.
Casey Karras comes up to bat. 0 for 3 on the day. That pitch there is in for a strike. Because we're in Waynesboro, there's a lot more Waynesboro fans than Tom Sox, and we can hear they did not like that call. Didn't look like it could have been a little bit in the inside and a little bit down low. It's a 0-1 count, and now with that pitch down low, it's a 1-1 count. Chandler Marsh walked the batter and struck out 1 so far in his 2/3 inning, looking for that 3rd out to complete his 1st inning. Pitch coming outside for ball number 2. As mentioned, Karras 0 for 3 for the day, but definitely could make a difference here. As that's going to be shot into foul territory. And Cole Wagner will make the play based on the reactions from the dugout. A good play there. Almost looked like it was going to hit the fence. But that will be the 3rd out of the inning, and it'll lead another bases loaded, stranded for the Waynesboro Generals. That's 6 runners they've left on base in these last 2 innings. They still trailing this one by 1 as the Tom Sox lead this one 5-4 as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball as we enter here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Chandler Marsh came in as the pitcher last half inning. Inherited runners on first and second. Was put in a bases loaded situation, but allowed the 4th straight shutout inning for the Tom Sox. And they still lead this one 5-4. Calvin Alexander now into the box for the Sox. First pitch called ball. As Riley Hughey remains on the mound for the Generals. Second pitch coming. That one down the dirt for ball number 2. Mentioned earlier, Hughey came to Waynesboro from Winchester for the playoffs. So far, only allowed 2 hits. That pitch there is in for a strike. Did give up 2 runs, but he did inherit that. And allowed the Tom Sox to take the lead in this one. One pitch coming, breaking ball. That's in first. Oh no, it's going to be a strike 3 called. Excuse me. One of the pitches must have been a close call.
Looked a little high to me, but
Nonetheless, that will put Calvin Alexander down on strikes for a second time today. Good. I mean, it was other than that, it was a good solid breaking ball by Hughey, whether or not it did drop down in time. As now Nick Erickson, the catcher, goes up against Hughey. First pitch there outside for ball number 1. Last strikeout for Hughey is his 2nd of the day. In his 1 2/3 innings. Second pitch coming. That one's in for strike number 1 off a fastball to Nick Erickson. Erickson in Game 2 yesterday against Covington Lumberjacks had a 3-run home run along with a double. 1-1 pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Ball was in the dirt. But it moves the count to 1-2. He went 3 for 4 in that one. On the year, Erickson has 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. One-two pitch from Hughey to Erickson. That one is going to be called ball. To even to count at 2s. Two pitch. This Hughey is incoming. And that's going to be a swing and a miss for Erickson. It's back-to-back strikeouts now for Hughey. Now 2 outs in this inning as Kyle Edwards will step into the batter's box. Trying to get the Tom Sox offense rolling once again. First pitch coming. That ball is in the dirt, but it was a check swing by Edwards. First base ump says he stays. Will be a 1-0 count for Edwards. One-0 pitch for Hughey against Edwards. Fastball in for a strike for a 1-1 count. Outside of 2 runs that Hughey's allowed, He's kept a shutout against the Tom Sox. Runs were not counted against them. 1-1 pitch. Looked a little bit inside, but will be called a strike for a 1-2 count. Henry Hardy put the runners on the corners. When Hughie came in, he allowed those. He allowed those in off the Christian Martin double. Outside of that, though, Hughie's been perfect. 1-2 pitch. Down at dirt. A check swing by Edwards. Again, does not sound like the Waynesboro fans like that one. So they're a lot louder here than the Tom Sox fans.
Yep.
Which is expected, being in Waynesboro. 2-2 pitch, 2 outs. And that breaking ball is in for strike number 3. Gets Kyle Edwards looking. That will be Hughie's fourth strikeout of the day. So far, so good for Hughie, other than those 2 runs that he let up. Nonetheless, though, Waynesboro Generals will be coming up to bat next. Have had bases loaded in the last 2 innings, just unable to put the runs on the board. They still trail in this one 4-5 as we head in to the top of the 7th. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. Chandler Marsh remains in the game on the mound for the Sox after pitching 1 inning. Struck out 1 batter, walked another batter. Came in for Emmett Bice, who allowed runners on first and second. That walk did load the bases up for Chandler Marsh, but he's able to get out of that unscathed. For the Generals, Thad Ector will be in the right batter's box to go against Marsh. That first pitch will be called a ball. Mid count 1-0. Marsh looks on. Wind up. That pitch there, Erickson has to reach for it on the inside. They'd count 2-0. Two-0 pitch coming. That one just high will be ball number 3. Last time Ector came to the plate was in the 5th inning. He struck out swinging. So, yeah. Oh, and that pitch there. Ector is getting ready to throw his bat. But it will be called strike down low. Ector on the day still looking for his first hit. 0 for 3. 3-1 pitch coming. That will be fouled over the left field fence. Make the count full. As Marsh has now been able to fight his way back in this one after being down to count 3-0. Ector trying not to be struck out for the second time today and also reach base for the first time. full count pitch now coming from Marsh against Ector. That ball will be down low. So Ector will reach base for the first time of the day for him after going 0 for 3. And it now puts a runner on first for the second baseman, Tyler Borges. Borges on a day 0 for 1, but has walked twice. He struck out earlier in this game. Marsh looks towards Ector. Pitch coming now. Now will be a ball. As Borges faked the bunt there. Pulls it back.
Seeing some active in the Tom Sox bullpen. Not quite sure who's out there, but see them warming up a little bit.
As that pitch from Marsh will get away. Another fake bunt there for Borges. Might have just threw him off a little bit. Either way, that Ector will take second base off the wild pitch. And now the tying run for the Generals is in scoring position. As Chandler Marsh's Georgia teammate Cole Wagner talks him up for a quick second. Wagner runs back to first. Marsh get ready to throw once the home plate ump returns to his spot. Two-0 count, no outs, a runner on second for Chandler Marsh. Marsh gets ready to throw. That pitch there will be called strike as Borges continues to look for the bunt to advance Ector. Two-on pitch. And that's going to be a good grab there by Erickson. Ball almost got away from him. Able to make the two-hand grab. And it will keep Ector at second. Ball were to roll past, if he wasn't able to get that second hand on it, Ector would be finding his way onto third with no outs. 3-1 count now against Borges. And that one's inside, and that's going to walk Borges and put the leading run now on first. Up next for the Generals will be Garrett Howe, the third baseman. Howe on a day 1 for 2, has walked once.
Definitely a tough situation with no outs. The tying run on second, leading run on first. Marsh just needs to get in the zone, not do anything fancy, and have his fielders back him up.
There comes the bunt once again. That one will be rolled foul. Right now, General's just trying to be somewhat conservative but somewhat aggressive. I mean, we've seen Ector kind of taking those bigger leadoffs from second, trying to get onto third with no outs. But the Generals keep showing bunt, just trying to move the runners up to get the tying run at the very least. 0-1 pitch. Again showing bunt. That one will roll foul. Once again to the third baseman, Christian Martin. Now Marsh ahead in his count 0-2. Unless Howe wants to risk it, probably not a good idea to bunt here. Marsh looks back to Ector. And that pitch there will be down low for ball number 1. Kyle Edwards staying a little bit closer to second base this time. Looks like a pickoff there may be a shot for a pickoff. We saw Gavin Edwards kind of creep up earlier in the last at bat. Edwards again creeps up a little bit. And that's going to be a swing and a miss for Garrett Howe. And that's going to put him down on strikes for the first out for Marsh in this inning. Now you got one out with a runner on first and second. As the Generals return to the top of their batting order with Joseph Sullivan. Sullivan 1 for 2 on the day with 2 walks and the 2 RBI single back in the second. Edwards again creeps up just a little bit. That first pitch will be outside for ball number 1. Want to account for Marsh. That one's coming. That fastball will drop in for strike number 1 against Sullivan. One count with 1 out for Marsh. Breaking ball will be called strike. Make the count 1-2 against Sullivan. Sullivan had his best outing in that Harrisonburg series in their 1 loss, where he went 3 for 5, and brought in 2 runs. Did hit .500 in that series, though, going 6 for 12. Ector's getting ready to run, is what it seems like, but he will not. Pitch high to Erickson. Move to count to 2-2. We saw it earlier with Howe, and we're seeing it now with Ector. It's kind of bouncing around between second and third. Because I know Marsh is going to look back, so they're just trying to throw him off a little bit. And Edwards is going to run to the bag. And that's going to be fouled away by Sullivan to keep the count going. We're seeing Ector bounce between second and third. Now we're seeing Edwards. He keeps creeping up a little bit more and more. And right there, Marsh was quick. If was quick enough, could have maybe got the fire out at second.
It's good for Edwards to go over and cover second, maybe make him a little more nervous to take that generous lead.
Two pitch. Ector not taking as big of a lead now. That pitch there is high to make the count full. Sullivan walks here. That'll be his 3rd walk of the day. Him and Jalen Vasquez would be the only 2 batters with 3 walks if that was to happen. Pitch coming. Breaking ball. Shot to Edwards. It will be 6-4, but not able to get the out at second. But they throw it back to third.
I think they tagged him out.
They tagged him.
Gavin Abrams got the out at second, and then threw it to third, and I think
Christian Martin
tagged him.
Maybe Thad Ector stepped off the bag just a little bit, and because of that, we are going to the bottom of 7th. More mistakes now for the Generals. He left bases loaded the 2 innings prior, and now they stepped off the bag on third. I would have put runners on the corner with 2 outs. Now it puts the Tom Sox back up to bat, and we could see Waynesboro definitely not happy. You can see 2 of their coaches talking with the umps. Nonetheless, though, we will be heading into the bottom of the 7th with the Tom Sox up to bat, still holding a 5-4 lead. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball.
That is nothing.
Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. Tom Sox still hold a 5-4 lead as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning. Some controversy in that last half inning. As that Hector was bouncing between second and third throughout the pitching of Chandler Marsh in that last half inning. Finally got to third. And Tom Sox trying to turn double play. The throw to first wasn't going to be good, but Gavin Abrams fired it to Christian Martin at third. And Hector just stepped off the bag. So it looked like would have been one out. Turned into a double play. Now for the Tom Sox, Gavin Abrams, who made the throw, as mentioned, will be stepping up to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day. Or, excuse me, not 1 for 3. 1 for 2 on the day. Scored a run earlier in this game. That first pitch will be fouled towards the left field area, and it will bounce out of play for strike number 1. Outside of those first 4 innings, we have yet to see any more runs between the two teams. Since then, I mean, Generals have left a lot of runners on base. As mentioned, they had runners on first and second last half inning, but the double play allowed for only 1 runner left on base. They also left bases loaded the last 2 innings for a total of 7 in the last 3. Gavin Abrams there, foul tips that one. To make the count 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch coming against Abrams. That ball there, down and low. Make count 1-2 for Riley Hughie. Hughie now, pitch coming. That's going to be a good breaking ball off-speed pitch to throw Abrams off, and he swings through that one for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now his 5th strikeout of the day. First game for the Generals. He has done well so far with 5 strikeouts, only giving up 2 hits in his 2 2/3 innings now. Tom Sox work their way back up to the top of the order with Christian Martin up to bat. 2 for 2 in a day, 2 RBIs off that 2-run double. First pitch there will be a strike. Martin had the 2-run double back in the 4th to catapult the Tom Sox to a 5-4 lead. 0-1 pitch coming against Martin. Looked like he didn't want to swing through that one, but he ended up doing anyway. Pitch looked down low, but it will move to count to 0-2. Hughie looking for back-to-back strikeouts. That one inside. Martin will get his back on it, though, and it will roll foul to keep the at-bat going. So far, so good for Hughie from the mound. Pitching for the Generals. Coming in for Henry Hardy. 0-2 pitch once again, and Martin swings through that one. Another good off-speed pitch for Hughie. Give him back-to-back strikeouts. Now his 6th of the day. The 8th total for the Generals bullpen. As now Carter Cunningham will be coming up to plate. 1 for 3 on the day. Cunningham hit a single back in the 3rd. That pitch there almost hits the helmet. But Cunningham got out the way in time. Moves count to 1-0. Pitch coming now. That pitch inside once again for Hugie.
Crowd doesn't seem too happy with that call.
2-0 pitch coming out again inside. Moves count to 3-0. I mean, it just looks like Hugie's just missing.
Yeah.
Inside right now. Missing the last two pitches in similar spots. First one was obvious ball and was hitting Cunningham in the head. So Hugie takes a quick timeout. Tie his cleat. Cunningham heading into this game was batting .411, was leading the Tom Sox. In yesterday's games, he went 2 for 10. 1 for 3 in this one. 3-0 pitch. That one catches inside for strike number 1. Three-one pitch coming for Hugie. Breaking ball outside. And it will put a runner on first with 2 outs. As Cole Wagner comes up to bat now. Wagner 2 for 3 on the day. Had an RBI back in the 3rd inning with a double. Put the first run of the day on the board for the Tom Sox. And put the game 4-1. Since then, Tom Sox were able to score 4 more runs to take a 5-4 lead. So Cole Wagner there takes the first pitch, a chopper. Will roll foul. Wagner, as mentioned earlier, has played in 35 games, has reached base in all 35 games. So he swings through that one for strike number 2. Led the Valley Baseball League in the regular season in RBIs. Oh, 2 pitch coming for Wagner, and they will be called 3rd strike. 3 strikeouts in this inning for Hugie. His 7th of the day. He continues to just mix it up against Tom Sox, and they just can't find a way to put their bat on it. Either way, the Tom Sox still lead this one 5-4, with Chandler Marsh still on the mound. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. As mentioned, Chandler Marsh still remains on the mound as he will go against the first baseman, Caleb Cawley. As we enter the top of the 8th, Tom Sox been able to get their offense rolling late. So that pitch in for strike number 1. Get the runs going late in the 3rd and 4th innings after the Generals took an early 4-0 lead. Since then, though, the Tom Sox been able to get out of tough situations. Second pitch called a ball. Multiple situations where bases were loaded for the Generals. Chandler Marsh, who's on the mound still, was able to work out of those. One count. We'll move the count to 2-1 after that pitch that misses down low for 2-1. 2-1 pitch coming. That pitch will be fouled by Cauley back towards the parking lot. Mid count even at 2-2. Cauley on a day is 1 for 3. Struck out early in the game. 2-2 pitch coming from Marsh, and that one will be fouled away. And it looks like Erickson take a shot there. Looked slow to get up there. Setting up now, he looks to be fine. As Marsh will trade baseballs with the ump. On deck for the Generals will be T.J. Clarkson, who hit the home run in the first inning, a 2-run shot to get the Generals a 2-0 lead. They would then turn to a 4-0 lead before the Tom Sox started the rally. So that pitch down in the dirt gets away from Erickson. Count goes to full.
Seems like the bullpen for the Tom Sox not as consistent as they were in the past few games. A lot of balls down and away or up and away.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of control has just been missing. I mean, Shankman started solid, and then since then, Bice struggled a little bit. But either way, that'll be a swing and a miss. And Marsh will get the strikeout and put one out on the board, sending Cauley down on strikeouts for the second time on the day. And that puts T.J. Clarkson now to home plate. Yeah, but as mentioned, Tom Sox today have walked 10 batters, have struck out 7. But obviously you'd want the strikeouts to be more than the walks. As Clarkson swings through that one for strike number 1. A 1 count. That ball there down low. Make the count 1-1. One pitch from Marsh to Clarkson. Clarkson swing through it again. Make the count 1-2. Marsh looking for his 4th strikeout of the day. He's walked 3, struck out 3, and 2 in the 3rd innings. Still hasn't allowed a hit. Something we haven't seen since a White Shankman came to start this game. That pitch high. Nick Erickson had to take a little leap for that one. Count goes to 2-2.
Might have just slipped a little bit out of his hands.
2-2 pitch. Looking to get back on track is Chandler Marsh. Takes a little bit more time this time. It will be called a timeout. Up next after T.J. Garrison will be Jalen Vasquez, another power hitter for the Generals. 2-2 pitch coming again. That one down low. This time Erickson has to reach down in the dirt for it to make the count 3-2. Full count pitch coming this time, and that's going to ring him up. A good fastball there, just catches. And that will be the 4th strikeout of the day for Chandler Marsh. And a big one because As we mentioned before, Tom Sox have had trouble just trying to find a strike zone. Walking 10 batters so far. You don't want to keep shooting yourself in the foot in a situation. Excuse me, I said Jalen Vasquez is coming on deck. It's actually Tanner Garrison, the catcher. Vasquez will be up after Garrison. First pitch against Garrison. Good for ball number 1. Garrison over 2 on a day. He's taking 2 plunks. Getting hit twice by Emmett Bice. 1-0 pitch. He holds his swing. But the breaking ball is good for strike number 1.
It's definitely a good inning for Chandler Marsh. Got 2 outs. Right now, no runners on base. Just doing his thing on the mound.
1-1 pitch for Marsh. Fastball gets down. Strike number 2. 1 strike away from getting out of this inning unharmed. Would be 3 strikeouts in a row if he can get out of this one. 1-2 pitch. Chopper, though, for Garrison. Marsh, bare hand grab, and he gets the out at first. He looked like he slipped a little, but he does get the third out. A big toss there. Allows no hits for the Generals in that inning, and it preserves the Tom Sox 5-4 lead heading into the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to Tom Sox Baseball. We enter the bottom of the 8th here at Kate Collins Field for Game 1 between the Waynesboro Generals and Charlottesville Tom Sox. Let's go quick recap of what's going on throughout the Valley Baseball League. Because we're in the playoffs, not much action anymore. The only other game that's supposed to be on for today was between the Woodstock Riverbends and the Percival Cannons. As that first pitch there will be called ball for Trey Younger. That game was postponed and will be moved for tomorrow. Game between number 1 seed Woodstock River Bandits and the 3 seed Percival Cannons. As that ball there will go to dirt against Trey Younger. Woodstock River Bandits were able to get the sweep over the Front Royal Cardinals, while the Percival Cannons were able to outlast Strasburg Express in 3 games, winning the last one 9-7 on the road. Going back to this game now. Battle between the 1 and 2 seeds in the division. In the South Division. Despite that, There's no home field advantage for the Tom Sox. So we'll be playing 2 games in Waynesboro back-to-back days. As that pitch outside once again, we'll move to count 3-0 for Trey Younger. Tom Sox will be right back here in Waynesboro tomorrow. And then the third game will be in Charlottesville if necessary. And that pitch there will be shot up by Trey Younger, and it will get down for a single for Younger. So Tom Sox up 5-4 in this one in a tight game. Spikes in the batter's box. The 9th hit of the day now for the Sox compared to Waynesboro's 4. Waynesboro has found other ways to get on base though. So they have taken 10 walks along with a few hit by pitches. That bunt by Spikes would pop up in the air, and it will be handled by the pitcher Riley Hughie.
Definitely just unlucky. Got the wrong angle on the ball there.
Don't seem like the Tom Sox bunt too much. That might have been like maybe the 3rd bunt I've seen us do this entire season. Or seen them do this entire season. Either way, though, I mean, we saw one of them were Kyle Edwards where he popped it up foul. And now he popped it up and he popped one back foul and he popped one fair and it was a pop. And that one there for Garrett Spikes. As Calvin Alexander, the designated hitter now, comes against Riley Hughie. First pitch there is a strike. Alexander on the day 0 for 3 has 2 strikeouts. Looking for home run number 6 to tie him for the most in team history in a season. That ball there, down in the dirt, moves the count to 1-1. One and one count, 1 out. Trey Younger on first. Tom Sox want that Trey Younger run to get across just to have a little bit more cushion. Hughie gets ready to throw, stares down Younger. Pitch to Alexander, swing and a miss. Moves the count to 1-2. Hughie so far has thrown 39 strikes now to 18 balls. Really found the strike zone. And it has shown the 7 strikeouts. As that pitch there will be a grounder to Borges. And it will be a double play. A 4-6-3 double play to be exact. And just like that, we are heading into the top of the 9th. The Tom Sox have a chance to close this one out for their Game 1 win. You're listening to Tom Sox Baseball. Welcome back to K. Collins Field here in Waynesboro, Virginia. Tom Sox lead this one heading into the top of the ninth inning, 5-4. Looking to close this one out. Still on the mound for the Sox will be Chandler Marsh. And Jalen Vasquez will be up to bat for the Waynesboro Generals. And during the break, you can tell Waynesboro they really want to get this Game 1 win. It means a lot for them to get this first game at home, potentially to get momentum to get this sweep, and 2 with a game tomorrow here at Waynesboro. Just that Hector was all it was getting in the face of Jalen Vasquez, trying to hype him up. As Vasquez on day 0 for 1 has had 3 walks. Has yet to really make an impact. Has gotten on base, which is a plus, but he has 7 homers on the year. Has almost 30 RBIs. And they want to get more out of him. And he has a chance in this 9th inning.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. You know, the Generals got the lead very early in the game. And then the Tom Sox just found the momentum, found the steam to have this 1-run lead.
It's Vasquez looking to go deep. He swings through that one. Count goes to 2-1. This is who the Generals would want, though, with a game in hand. Pitch coming out. It's going to be foul tip for Vasquez. Good fight there by Marsh. Down 2-0 in the count. And Vasquez still unable to really get good contact. Hasn't been really an issue this season, but it has been so far in this game. 2-2 pitch coming now. There's a check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, says the third base ump. Moves to count to full. Vasquez is looking for walk number 4. Three-two count from Marsh coming to Vasquez. That one, they will ring him up. Vasquez not happy with that one. It will be strike number 3 nonetheless. A huge strikeout for Marsh. Looked like it could have been called either way. But outside of that, a huge strikeout there to keep the tying run off the bases.
Definitely a huge strikeout there. He didn't look too happy about that call, but still got 1 out.
First pitch from Marsh is a ball to Casey Karras. I mean, I think a lot of that for Vasquez as well is probably just a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
0 for 2 in a day. 2 strikeouts and then 3 walks. Just not really, and he just hasn't been able to get the contact he wants. As Karras swings through that one, moves the count to 1-1. Last strikeout from Marsh with his 5th of the day. Leads the Sox. That pitch there inside. Make the count 2-1. Pitch now 2-1 coming from Marsh, and that's a swing and a miss for Karras again. Moves the count to 2-2. 1 strike away from his 3rd out. It's a 2-2 count now for Marsh. And again, that misses inside. Karras has to back out of the way. Count goes full. Something that we've seen a lot of today.
Definitely.
Made the game a little bit more interesting, but obviously it's not what you really want to see if you're the Sox, especially with a 1-run lead. You don't want to put extra base runners on board. 3-2 pitch, that one's down low, and it will walk Karras to put the leading run at the plate.
This is classic playoff baseball right here, you know. The game is by 1 point. We're in the 9th inning. We've got the winning run for the Generals at bat. Definitely intense game.
I mean, obviously we've seen throughout the season these two teams, they have gone back and forth, although the Sox did have the advantage in the season series. But these two teams, they have gone back and forth in a lot of close, tight games and exciting ones. First pitch gets Ector. It was a breaking ball, and it will be called a strike. It did look a little bit inside. Ector didn't like that pitch whatsoever. 0-1 pitch from Marsh. That one high will be called a ball. 1-1 count, 1 out. Runner on first. And Casey Karras. Chandler Marsh looks to Karras. Getting ready to deal. Breaking ball. Ector unable to get his bat on it. Swings through it. There's a little pirouette after. Count goes to 1-2. Unless Ector grounds into a double play or just some sort of double play happens, Tyler Borgs, the second baseman, will be up to bat next. Pitch coming. Ector swings through that one, and that's going to be strike number 3. Chandler Marsh now is 1 strike away, or 1 out away from his save and a crucial Game 1 win here in Waynesboro. Tyler Borges on a day 0 for 1, 3 walks and a strikeout. Casey Karras still on first. First pitch will be fouled back by Borgs. Borges looking to get more than just a walk here. He definitely wants to advance Karras to put more pressure on Marsh. That pitch there outside for ball number 1. One count for Marsh against Borges. Pitch down low. Erickson barely gets his glove on that one. Moves the count to 2-1. Marsh looks towards Karras. Throws a 2-1 pitch. That one away from Erickson. Has to extend his body to get that one. Count goes to 3-1. Three-one pitch coming. Check swing. Did he go? They say yes. Count goes to full. Tom Sox are 1 strike away from getting out of this one with the crucial Game 1 win. Pitch coming. He swings through it, and Marsh gets a strikeout. And you can see Tom Sox are excited about that one, especially Marsh getting his 7th strikeout of the day. I mean, what a game there. I mean, Tom Sox in the beginning of this one, their offense just looked flat. The defense, the pitching wasn't the greatest. And then in the end, we started to see Emmett Bice coming in relief, throwing a bunch of shutout innings, even though did having a little bit of issues with control. Chandler Marsh comes in, having 7 strikeouts in his 4 innings of relief. Overall, they're relieving pitchers in their 7 innings, and Emmett Bice and Chandler Marsh giving up no hits.
Yeah, and as I always say, bullpens win ball games, and I don't think that this game could be more true. Having no runs score since the 4th inning, actually the 2nd inning for the Generals, huge win for the bullpen. this is a great win for the Tom Sox going into this series because they're going to face the Generals again here in Waynesboro tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in the beginning, it looked rough for the Sox, not generating any offense. And then they were able to. I mean, Henry Hardy didn't have a lot of appearances, and then they stuck him in a playoff situation, the Generals did. And he was good in the beginning. Tom Sox were able to rally back somewhat against them. And in that third inning, they finally started to get the runs thanks to Cole Wagner double. And then a wild pitch, a Trey Younger reaching base on error. And then the Christian Martin 2-run double in the fourth to propel the Sox to the 5-4 win. Overall, the Sox only registered 9 hits. Offensively, they were better yesterday in Covington, but coming off the doubleheader and playing the way they did was huge. And as you mentioned, coming back to Kate Collins Field tomorrow, having this momentum going into Game 2 is huge for them.
Absolutely, and I think, this is classic playoff baseball. It's really going to come down to the wire and who's going to have that final push. And tonight, that was the Tom Sox.
Nonetheless, we will conclude the broadcast here. We want to thank Taylor's Auto Body for sponsoring us during this sponsoring the Tom Sox during this postseason. Tom Sox take Game 1 over the Waynesboro Generals. The Generals will host Game 2 here at Kate Collins Field. Tom Sox win this one 5-4 and take a 1-0 series lead, 1 win away from clinching the South Division crown and heading into the championship for the Valley Baseball League. For Dusty Sanchez, I'm Tucker Myers. Thank you for tuning in to Tom Sox Baseball.